Shalom, brothers and sisters, Bibleaholics everywhere. Welcome. It's time for our midweek Bible study. And this week we're doing Exodus, which is Shemoth, chapters 13, 14, and 15. So go ahead and grab your Bible and we'll get started tonight, okay? I hope everybody's having a good week, avoiding all this worldly chaos that's going on. Welcome to the tribulation, everyone. So let's get into Yah's Word so that we can learn what the truth is, instead of all of this crazy things that are going on in the world. Okay? Alright, everybody got something to drink and got your Bibles so that way you can learn and see with your own eyeballs what we're reading. Alright, here we go. Chapter 13 of Shemoth, which is Exodus. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Set apart to me all the firstborn, the one opening the womb among the children of Israel, among man and among beast. It is mine. And Moshe said to the people, Remember this day in which you went out of Mizraim, out of the house of slavery. For by strength of hand Yahweh brought you out of this place, and whatever is leavened shall not be eaten. Okay? So we're getting into what is the Passover, the Pesach. Okay? Verse 4. Today you are going out in the new moon, Abib. Abib is the name of the first month of the year, okay, in Hebrew. Verse 5, And it shall be when Yahweh brings you into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you shall keep this service in this new moon. 7 days you eat unleavened bread, and on the seventh day is a festival to Yahweh. Unleavened bread is to be eaten the 7 days, and whatever is leavened is not to be seen with you, and leaven is not to be seen with you within all your borders. Okay, so leaven has a double meaning there. Not only is it the leavening of the bread, okay, which they didn't have time to leaven before they left Mizraim, but also leaven is considered sin. So for the feast of unleavened bread, you remove all the leaven from your house. Not only yeast products, but the sin. Okay, because that's what it's all about. Verse 8, And you shall inform your son in that day, saying, It is because of what Yahweh did for me when I came up from Mizraim. And it shall be a sign to you on your hand, as a reminder between your eyes, that the Torah of Yahweh is to be in your mouth. For with a strong hand Yahweh has brought you out of Mizraim. I know some people think about what's on my hat here. Can you read that? Oh, let's turn it over. Sorry about that, gang. Here you go. Between your eyes. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahweh, our Elohim. Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh, your Elohim, with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your might. Okay? Between your eyelids. Okay. Verse 10. And you shall guard this law and its appointed time from year to year. And it shall be when Yahweh brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to you and your fathers, and gives it to you, that you shall give over to Yahweh every one opening the womb, and every firstborn that comes from your livestock, the males belonging to Yahweh. Okay? Kadesh. You're dedicating your firstborn to Yahweh. You don't got to slaughter them. You don't got to sacrifice them, but you're dedicating your firstborn to Yahweh. He belongs to Yahweh. Okay? Verse 13, But every firstborn of a donkey you are to ransom with a lamb. And if you do not ransom it, then you shall break its neck. and every firstborn of man among your sons you are to ransom, to dedicate. And it shall be, when your sons ask you in times to come, saying, What is this? Then you shall say to him, By strength of hand Yahweh brought us out of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. And it came to be, when Pharaoh was too hardened to let us go, that Yahweh killed every firstborn in the land of Mizraim, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I am slaughtering to Yahweh every male that opens the womb, but every firstborn of my sons I ransom. You give them to Yahweh, not kill them. And it shall be as a sign on your hand, and as frontlets between your eyes. I'm sure that you guys have seen the ball cap that I have that says Yod He Vav He on it. Yeah, between the frontlets of your eyes. That way it's always on your mind. For by strength of hand Yahweh brought us out of Mizraim. And it came to be, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that Elohim did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, though it was nearer. For Elohim said, Lest the people regret when they see fighting, and return to Mizraim. So it was too soon after they left slavery to get them into a fight. So Yahweh led them away from the Philistines. Verse 18, So Elohim led the people around by the way of the wilderness of the Sea of Reeds. And the children of Israel went up in fives from the land of Mitzrayim. So he had them marching in a column, 5 abreast. Okay? Military form. Verse 19, And Moshe took the bones of Joseph with him, for he certainly made the children of Israel swear, saying, Elohim shall certainly visit you, and you shall bring my bones from here with you. And they departed from Succoth, and camped in Etham, at the edge of the wilderness. And Yahweh went before them by day in a column of cloud to lead the way, and by night in a column of fire to give them light, so as to go by day and night. Okay, column is translated in standing upright. So Yahweh was standing upright before the children of Israel, guiding them, okay, in a column. He was standing upright. Verse 22, The column of cloud did not cease by day, nor the column of fire by night, before the people. Chapter 14. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they turn and camp before Pi-Hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea opposite Baal-Zephon. Camp before it by the sea. For Pharaoh shall say of the children of Israel, They are entangled in the land. The wilderness has closed them in. So Pharaoh's going to think that they're trapped, because they're between a rock and a hard place, basically, with their backs against the wall to the Sea of Reeds, the Red Sea. Verse 4, And I shall strengthen the heart of Pharaoh, and he shall pursue them. But I am to be esteemed through Pharaoh and over all his army, and the Mitzrayites shall know that I am Yahweh. And they did so. And it was reported to the sovereign of Mitzrayim that the people had fled, and the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, Why have we done this, that we have let Israel go from serving us? We let all the slaves go. What are we doing? Verse 6, So he made his chariot ready and took his people with him. And he took 600 choice chariots, and all the chariots of Mitzrayim, with officers over all of them. And Yahweh strengthened the heart of Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, and he pursued the children of Israel. But the children of Israel went out defiantly. And the Mitzrayites pursued them, and all their horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them, camping by the sea, beside Pi-Hahiroth, before Baal-Zephon. Sorry, I have trouble saying some of those words sometimes. Verse 10, And when Pharaoh drew near to the children of Israel, lifted their eyes and saw the Mitzrayites coming up after them, and they were greatly afraid. So the children of Israel cried out to Yahweh. They started praying. And they said to Moshe, "Did you take us away to die in the wilderness because there are no burial sites in Mitzrayim? What is this you have done to us? Bring us up out of Mitzrayim." Lack of faith. Verse 12. "Is this not the word that we spoke to you in Mitzrayim, saying, 'Leave us alone and let us serve the Mitzrayites'? For it would have been better for us to serve the Mitzrayites than to die in the wilderness." And Moshe said to the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand still and see the deliverance of Yahweh, which he does for you today." Psalm 91. Look it up. Don't be afraid of anything except for Elohim. "For the Mitzrayites, whom you see today, you are never to see again. Yahweh does fight for you, and you keep silent." Psalm 91. Alright, verse 15. "And Yahweh said to Moshe, 'Why do you cry to me? Speak to the children of Israel, and let them go forward. And you, lift up your rod, and stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it. And let the children of Israel go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I am strengthening the heart of the Mitzrayites, and they shall follow them. And I am to be esteemed through Pharaoh, and over all his army, his chariots, and his horsemen. And the Mitzrayites shall know that I am Yahweh, when I am esteemed through Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. And the messenger of Elohim," capital M, messenger. There's another Christophany, okay? "And the messenger, capital M, of Elohim, who went before the camp of Yisrael, moved and went behind them. And the column of cloud went from before them, and stood behind them, and came between the camp of the Mitzrayites and the camp of Yisrael. And it was the cloud and the darkness, and it gave light by night. And the one did not come near the other all night. So the pillar stood between the two camps." Verse 21. "And Moshe stretched out his hand over the sea, and Yahweh caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea on dry ground, and the waters were a wall to them on their right and on their left. And the Mitzrayites pursued and went after them into the midst of the sea, all the horses of Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to be in the morning watch that Yahweh looked down upon the army of the Mitzrayites through the column of fire and cloud, and he brought the army of the Mitzrayites into confusion. And he took off their chariot wheels, so that they drove them with difficulty. And the Mitzrayites said, 'Let us flee from the face of Israel, for Yahweh fights for them against the Mitzrayites.' So as they were chasing the children of Israel, all of a sudden their chariot wheels fell off, and they couldn't go nowhere. They were stuck right there where they were." Verse 26. "Then Yahweh said to Moshe, 'Stretch out your hand over the sea, and let the waters come back upon the Mitzrayites, on their chariots, and on their horsemen.' And Moshe stretched out his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its usual flow at the break of day, with the Mitzrayites fleeing into it. Thus Yahweh overthrew the Mitzrayites in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them, and not even one was left of them. And the children of Israel walked on dry ground in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall to them on their right and on their left. Thus Yahweh saved Yisrael that day out of the hand of the Mitzrayites, and Yisrael saw the Mitzrayites dead on the seashore. And Yisrael saw the great work which Yahweh had done in Mitzrayim, And the people feared Yahweh and believed Yahweh and his servant Moshe. Chapter 15. Then Moshe and the children of Israel sang this song to Yahweh and spoke, saying, I sing to Yahweh, for he is highly exalted. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. Yah is my strength and song. He has become my deliverance. He is my El, and I praise him. Elohim of my father, and I exalt him. Yahweh is a man of battle. Yahweh is his name. He has cast Pharaoh's chariots and his army into the sea, and his chosen officers are drowned in the sea of reeds. The depths cover them. They went down to the bottom like a stone. Your right hand, O Yahweh, has become great in power. Your right hand, O Yahweh, has crushed the enemy. And in the greatness of your excellence, you pulled down those who rose up against you. You sent forth your wrath. It consumed them like stubble. And with the wind of your nostrils, the waters were heaped up. The floods stuck like a wall. The depths became stiff in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I pursue, I overtake, I divide the spoil. My being is satisfied on them. I draw out my sword. My hand destroys them. You did blow with your wind. The sea covered them. They sank like lead in the mighty waters. Who is like you, O Yahweh, among the mighty ones? Who is like you, great in set apartness, awesome in praises, working wonders? You stretched out your right hand. The earth swallowed them. In your loving commitment, you led the people whom you have redeemed. In your strength, you guided them to your set-apart dwelling, his holy place. People heard. They trembled. Anguish gripped the inhabitants of Philistia. Then the chiefs of Edom were troubled. The mighty men of Moab, trembling grips them. All the inhabitants of Canaan melted. Fear and dread fell on them by the greatness of your arm. They are silent as a stone until your people pass over, O Yahweh, until the people whom you have brought pass over. You bring them in and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, in the place, O Yahweh, which you have made for your own dwelling, the set-apart place, O Yahweh, which your hands have prepared. Yahweh reigns forever and ever. For the horses of Pharaoh went with his chariots and his horsemen into the sea, and Yahweh brought back the waters of the sea upon them. And the children of Israel went on dry ground in the midst of the sea. And Mitzrayim, the prophetess, the sister of... let's start that over. My mistake. Verse 20. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took the timbrels in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. Remember, Miriam means water. And so does Moses. Moshe means water. Okay? Verse 21, and Miriam answered them, Sing to Yahweh, for he is highly exalted. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. And Moshe brought Israel from the sea of reeds, and went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness, and found no water. And they came to Marah, and they were unable to drink the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. So the name of it was called Marah. And the people grumbled against Moshe, saying, What are we to drink? Then he cried out to Yahweh, he prayed to Yahweh, and Yahweh showed him a tree. And when he threw it into the waters were made sweet. There he made a law and a right ruling for them. And there he tried them. He tested them to see if they had any faith. They didn't. They blew it. Verse 26. And he said, Verse 26. And he said, if you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, and do what is right in his eyes, and shall listen to his commands, and shall guard all his laws, I shall bring on you none of the diseases I brought on the Mitzrayites, for I am Yahweh who heals you. So he's going to keep them all well. No diseases are going to come on them, no curses are going to come on them, but they got to have faith. Verse 27, and they came to Elim, where there were 12 fountains of water, and 70 palm trees, and they camped there by the waters. And that's the end of chapter 15. It's all about faith, gang. It's all about faith. The children of Israel had spent so much time in Mitzrayim, among the Mitzrayites, the Egyptians, that they were following in their footsteps and had no faith whatsoever in Yahweh, their Elohim, to take care of them, to provide for them, to lead them out of slavery. So we're going to be seeing this as something that happens over and over and over and over, despite all of the things that Yahweh is doing in their presence, right in their midst. He's working all these miracles and they still don't believe. Wow. Alright, gang. I guess there's a lesson for us. Faith. Believe. Yahweh is true. Yahweh is real. His word is alive. Have faith. Don't let all these worldly things that are going on in our midst distract you. That's all they are, is they're distractions. Don't let them distract you. Stay in the Word. Stay in His Word. Study. Study it over and over and over. Be in it all the time. We're in the tribulation, gang. The waters have broken. The birth has begun. And we are in the tribulation. Don't get wrapped up in the worldly. All of this judgment is meant to be. It's all part of Yahweh's plan for all of us. And we're the believers in Yehoshua. We'll be okay. We'll make it through. But you've got to have faith. Don't get distracted. Alright, gang. That's all I've got for tonight. Y'all have a good rest of your week. And we'll be seeing you on Shabbat. Okay? Alright. Take care, everybody. Shalom.